Also, does anyone else find this name a little bit weird? Franco-File? Franco-File. I don't know, for some reason, that just makes me think of a French pedophile. Okay, so I think I'm about ready to announce the next subscriber goal at 200,000 subs. Basically, it's something you guys have asked for since the dawn of my channel. It's kind of been a little bit of a joke, but now I'm actually going to do it. At 200K, you will see the death of Paintbrush, because I'm going to shave my head. Okay, now first of all, I'm not gonna go completely bald, but it's gonna be, like, obviously extremely short. I think we have a while before 200K. It'll probably be here by the end of December, maybe early January. That is, of course, up to you guys, though. It could be here relatively soon, if you're really excited to see exactly how stupid I'm gonna look. So this is a mod that takes place where France won the Franco-Prussian War. Obviously, that results in no Germany and Napoleon kind of, you know, ruling the world. And no, not Napoleon. We're talking about Napoleon III. You know, the lamer one, I guess. I'm just very lucky I figured that out before I fucked this whole video up. And just in case, for anybody wondering, this is different from the amazing Napoleon mod in the Steam Workshop. This mod focuses specifically on the Franco-Prussian War, which I think is pretty unique. So a ton of things happen in this timeline, as well as we've got some pretty crazy-ass factions. Obviously, there's kind of a power vacuum here, but that will eventually change. I also love that the US has their own faction, which means one side won't get too powerful. At least I hope not. Hey, and look at that. Charles is a general for the French Empire. We already have our first war with my favorite Asian man. This might be the sexiest picture of Mao I've ever seen. No joke, I've been trying really hard to find a picture of Mao so I can hang it in my place, and I really want this one now so I can lose another No Nut November. I think there's something haunted about Iberia. For some reason, Franco has followed me around throughout all my videos, but now it seems to be you guys. We need to get to the bottom of this shit. Japan has clearly lost a significant amount of power in this timeline. They're a monarchy right now, but I think they're gonna go through a civil war. Oh, actually, this mod starts off with a civil war in Australia. Neo-socialists versus authoritarians, led by a building, which obviously explains why they're not doing so well. So this is something we definitely need to keep an eye on, the French national focus tree, as well as Prussia's. Yeah, this is gonna be key for this game. Oh man, wow. There goes sexy Mao. He was already annexed. And there we go. There's the Japanese Civil War. The uprising is from some sort of left government, and he actually has a pretty good chance to win, I think, in terms of divisions. So there you go. I think Hirohito's gonna die too. The Prussians have now formed a faction with Italy, and clearly, no matter what timeline it is, they never learn you can't trust Italians. Sorry, Norway, but you guys apparently are just a big-ass demilitarized zone. I don't know what the hell Sweden did to you. Interesting, so I think Prussia is gonna try again to unify Germany. They better be careful though, because now they have a much bigger front with France. Also, does anyone else find this name a little bit weird? Franco-File? Franco-File. I don't know, for some reason, that just makes me think of a French pedophile. Obviously, Qing won their war against Korea, and surprisingly, Hirohito survived. He also has a theater named the Middle East, which all his divisions are in. He probably just wants to spread some freedom to this region. Yep, so FDR just had a very early death since Huey Long took over, and he's still a progressive. Okay, someone needs to stop these guys. This is getting out of control. Qing, please slow down. Has Asian Hitler taken over your country? And Prussia's also continuing some offensive wars. But this time, I'm not sure how they're gonna get over there. Oh, okay, yeah, so the Axis is about to get murdered. I don't think they have a chance here. Although, did they already take all this land, or did this country flip to the Axis? Either way, so begins the second Franco-Prussian War. The big question is, will Churchill help? Because they're really going to need it. Or I guess Qing could too. Qing could definitely help the Axis. I'm not sure if this mod realizes that Qing is a little overpowered. I mean, it's 1939. Is this necessary? Okay, Prussia, it's time to get in the fetal position. This war is over before it even started. Okay, so at this point, the game keeps crashing. Luckily, I have a save from a test run that I did before I started this video. And obviously, as expected, France dominated and, well, they just took all of Italy. Of course, now Prussia is fully controlled by Napoleon VI, and Wilhelm II is in power. Now, obviously, the factions are not the same because this is a different game, but I do know nothing else is going to happen, at least not in this alternative history, which doesn't make much sense to me. So why not just go ahead and push it along a little bit? There we go. That's much, much better. It's kind of the thing we were all expecting. This mod definitely needs to be fleshed out a lot more, but I think we're gonna have a pretty interesting scenario. All right, you know what? That mod has some major problems. It crashed on me like 5 or 6 times. Let's go ahead and play this one, which I shouted out in the very beginning part of this video. Luckily, this works out perfectly because it still matches the whole what if Germany never formed as well as you guys have asked me for a very long time to play this one. Or watch this one. And already, I am absolutely loving these sexy ass portraits. And look at that, Ukraine is led by a fucking vampire. North America and the New World as a whole looks absolutely disgusting, so I love it. And the Empire of China is still super powerful. I think they're gonna go to war with Japan too. Faction-wise, we still just see a divide clearly between the continental system and the Commonwealth. Oh, and there's also the Central Powers. All right. So in this timeline, Germany technically exists, but they're obviously having some issues. They also have a left-wing nationalist government, so that's fun. But I guess there is a possibility we might still see a Reich in this campaign. And somehow, incredibly enough, this man makes Hitler look like a bitch. I think this is also the same guy that led Prussia in the last campaign. We already have factions spreading and a big ol' Eastern European war. I just realized Mexico owns my home state of California, and there's a lot of monarchists in North America. I also love that Belgium doesn't even exist. It's just Luxembourg pretending to be Belgium. Damn, that is one high quality picture of Neville Chamberlain. Great Britain is technically a democracy for now, but they have some other ideologies creeping in. So obviously the Central Powers have grown. They now even have Italy on their side. And I'm starting to realize that if these guys win in place of Germany, they're gonna give France a very big advantage. Russia's at war with the Republican International. Okay, that faction popped out of nowhere. And China's at war with the Commonwealth. Nice job, guys. And there we go. This monarchy has now taken the place of Germany in Central Europe. Wasn't expecting that. Oh, good, good. So they might not technically be Germany, but they still know they have to beat up Poland. And of course, as I said, they are a monarchy, which means they joined Napoleon, and now we have World War II. Or, I don't even know if there was a First World War in this timeline. Whatever. And there's actually 3 different conflicts, with China going after the Commonwealth, Russia after these guys, and then Europe, and that whole mess. This is a first. Whoa, Tojo is leading the Empire of Japan. It's always Hirohito here. I like this change. China is now fighting a 2-front war, kind of, since Japan's coming after them. Oh, damn, even Tibet is involved. Okay, never mind. You guys are screwed. And the Central Powers are going to die at any second. Brazil has formed a faction called the Latin Royalists because they're a monarchy. I don't know if that's going to work out for them, since most people in the New World aren't that. Ding! All right, so I've never seen a peace treaty like this before. I think this game's already over. I mean, the Commonwealth's best bet would be to capitulate China and take a lot of land. But it's not like they can take that much, since Japan and Tibet will obviously take what they want. And clearly, nothing in the New World's gonna be able to stop what's going on in Europe right now. This is kind of the most shocking thing, though. Russia is just getting obliterated. I don't know how that's happening. Okay, so 2 massive peace deals, one in East Asia, the other in Russia. I don't think I've ever seen a game where these nations have a huge victory like this. They also obviously forced the release of several new countries, and yeah, everything's been turned to a radical left-wing government. Wait a second, that is not necessarily true. Some of these places are democratic, and they're all still in a faction together. Well, regardless, this Republican International faction has probably become the 2nd strongest team. As for modern-day China, I don't understand how the Heavenly Kingdom just took everything. I mean, I guess the British just decided to puppet some things with British Burma and the Empire of China, which is in Mongolia. But I do want to remind people the Heavenly Kingdom naturally are god worshippers and ultra nationalistic. So that's a great combination. And then just right now, Tojo of Japan decided to go after Mongolia or China, whatever, which means now here comes the Commonwealth to come to their aid. And Portugal just joined the French faction, which means there's only a handful of Europeans that have decided to stay neutral. Another new conflict just occurred in East Asia, and I was about to say, I don't get why these 2 nations aren't working together, but then again, I guess this ideology doesn't allow for many friends. Surprisingly, Japan's doing pretty good, holding off like half the world, and I guess Neville's just gonna stay in power for this entire campaign. No Churchill this time. Wow, it's barely been a year. They already have over 300,000 casualties. But then again, I think that whole kamikaze shit is working. And then of course, this war is just a huge bloodbath, which is totally expected. And now there's a civil war with one of the most pathetic revolts I think I've ever seen. I mean, it's not like they would have had much of a chance anyways, but damn, this was kind of sad. Anyways, it's 1942. This game is over. So basically, in both of these campaigns, without Germany, France takes over the world. I mean, obviously that depends on the time period and what exactly happened, but that's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. Without a nation powerful in Central Europe, France just kind of takes over everything. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget about Paintbrush Death Day at 200,000 subs. I'm a little nervous about this. I think I'm gonna look really weird. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. And of course, big thanks to Neo, Wyone, Destiny Fucker 9000, Jacob W, Elfie, Stormblade, Ethan J, Kirby, Humor Demon, Namir, Stefan M, and Furry Cruz for being my crack daddies. If you want to support me, you can find a link to my Patreon in the description down below. Thank you so much for helping, Crack Boy.